Alright, drone video for track 24 at Panther Hollow. We just launched from the easement road at the southwest side. You can see a pile of dirt right there. That's probably topsoil from when they kind of widened out and improved the easement road that borders the property. We're looking essentially northerly at the south side of the property, but we're going to get some altitude and do a full flyover here. It looks like a big walnut tree to the left. We did find some good-sized black walnut trees on this property. Mostly red oak, white oak, hickory, but there are definitely some walnut trees as well, which was pretty cool to see. Gorgeous tract, direct frontage on the easement road at its south end and direct frontage on Bryant Creek on its north side. This is a summertime video. Okay, the white truck is parked on the easement road right at the southwest side of the property, and now we're looking essentially northeasterly at the property. The big power line you see is just off the edge of the property. So the property sits to the left of that large power line. On the other side of the road, you could just see it for a brief second, is the old original farmhouse in the area. So that's not on the property, but it does mean that power and phone are very close. So that's good to see. Okay, so here's an aerial. We're down toward the bottom on the southwest side. You can see it goes from meadow to timber. From where we are at the easement road, it's going to slope down, and then within that timber there's actually a private driveway and a site. You can see the small creek bed that crosses over kind of the south part of the property. It's going to rise up, level off, and then Bryant Creek borders essentially the entire northeast side of the property. So actually here is a topo map that's showing us the lay of the land here. So from that southwest side, slopes down very gradually toward that tiny kind of wet weather creek bed. From there it rises up, and you have this large level area in the center of the property, which could be an awesome spot for building or camping. I don't think there's a trail to that, but you could certainly do that. And then it slopes down steeply as you go toward Bryant Creek on the northeast side. So this looks like a pretty lengthy video, so I believe we're going to get a good look at this property. Okay, we're gaining some altitude here, so as we look northeasterly, the property sits, as we said, to the left side of that power line. It gets wider as it goes toward the creek. We didn't see any signs of any recent logging, other than there would have had to have been some trees removed when they did that driveway and that cleared site within the timber. And I'm sure we'll see that when we do the flyover here. So the very southern portion is a cool mixture of mature timber and open meadow. And then as we kind of go in, okay, if you look to the left of center at the bottom of the screen, there's that driveway that goes back into the cleared site on the property. So that was done fairly recently. It looks like it's already, well, we just passed over it, but I bet we'll see it on the way back. So the property's sloping down. Now it's sloping back up, leveling off. If you see that meadow on the left, I believe a tiny portion of that's on the property, but mostly it's wooded. And then as we pass over that wooded area, it's going to begin to slope down steeply to Bryant Creek. And there you can see a little bit of Bryant Creek there. So Bryant Creek is gorgeous. This is right up toward the headwaters, a couple miles from the headwaters of Bryant Creek, which is within the Cedar Gap Conservation Area. And that's just 2 or 3 miles northwest of the property. So Bryant Creek is spring-fed. It's generally very clear water. You can see it down there. It's an extremely popular creek in the Ozarks. It's one of the big ones that people talk about. It flows southeasterly from here all the way down into Arkansas and makes up part of Norfolk Lake, which is mostly in Arkansas and a little bit in Missouri. So now we've kind of transitioned and we're looking essentially westerly, and the property is on the left side of the creek. On the other side of the creek, across from the property, is that big open meadow. So as far as wildlife, it's awesome, not only having the creek, but having the meadow across. The deer will, of course, graze and browse in that meadow, then they'll come into the timber for cover. Even from up here you can see just how clear the water is in that creek. The only time probably that you'll see it stirred up is after it rains heavily. Okay, so now we're looking kind of northwesterly, property on the left. And that northern part of the property is where you'll see the steepness down to the creek. So, I mean, potentially you could create some kind of trail, but I don't think that one exists right now. What it does do is it gets you high and dry above the creek, so you're out of flood zone, and also probably could give you an excellent view of that kind of the creek and the river valley below from up at that level area on the property. So flying back southwesterly, we're over the large level area right now, which could be a stunning building site. You'd have to create a trail or driveway to get a vehicle to it. But now we're coming back to the existing clearing, and it's kind of got some grass growing up. I believe it was cleared fairly recently, like just the fall before this video was taken. So considering it was cleared recently, it's already got some nice growth coming up in there. Gives you a spot you can pull off, get off the road completely, and get some privacy while you're camping or hunting out there. It's nice to see that clearing on the property. Panther Hollow itself is gorgeous. I mean, this area is just incredible. We already mentioned the wildlife as far as the white-tailed deer and the turkey. I mean, the hunting is phenomenal out here. It's very, very private. The easement road ends about half a mile east of the property, so you've got little or no traffic. And now we're just kind of checking out the area. You can see the old farmhouse, which is across the road. Really a stunning tract. If you're familiar with the Ozarks, then you're already familiar with Bryant Creek, and you know it's so hard to find anything with direct frontage on Bryant Creek. It's been hard for 20 years, and it's getting harder all the time. So it's pretty exciting to have not only frontage, but several hundred feet of direct frontage on Bryant Creek on this property. Stunning tract. Check out the website. Complete owner financing on this, just like everything else on our website. If it's available, that's where you'll find it. If you have any questions, you can give us a call or you can shoot us an email. We would certainly love to talk to you.